Joy Division was a cult band, and New Order at the beginning was a cult band, and we were a club band. We played in clubs, you know, and that was okay. It was quite cool about that. But I remember on a couple of consecutive tours of the States, we went back, and our audience doubled, and then it doubled again, and then it tripled, and suddenly we were playing to like, within the space of like a year, we were playing to like, gone from playing like 800 to 1,000 in a club to 23,000. In a seedy little club, you could do your own little thing, but suddenly it was like, you know, you've got a crew of like, you know, you've got 5 articulated trucks, you've got all these people, and suddenly it was the real thing, I guess. And it took some getting used to that, for me personally, you know. Because I'm not I'm not an extrovert really. Most of the day you're just bored, you're like travelling around, you're at an airport watching your suitcase go around on a carousel. That's where I went wrong, I should have picked the suitcase up. But then you're like, you know, you're back at your hotel watching some crap American programme that you don't want to watch. You're in a place you don't want to be, and you're just kind of bored. And then just an hour before you go on stage, your heart starts beating faster, and the wind starts blowing a bit, and it starts raining.
The wind in the heart.
And then, you know, then all of a sudden you're like 10 minutes before showtime, and you know, you're kind of hyped up and nervous.
Welcome, if you will, our old friends from Cromsall, Walsall. Hi, New Order.
If you were still kind of chilled and bored, I don't think it would be exciting, would it? And you wouldn't have a great performance.
This is Reading. You're the audience. Let's rock the fucking house.
Is that mine? Might have known. Oh, whose is that? Oh, you don't listen, right?
You turned around with a really kind of filthy look.
I think it's William Tell, actually, okay.
To get offers coming in for gigs over and over again, and I was going, no way, we're not going to do that. They just used to come in off the facts, and I'd go, no, they won't do it, Rob, they won't do it anymore. Well, I'm going to ask them. And I was going, no way, we're not going to do that. And he'd go, oh, Glastonbury. Glastonbury. And I was going, no chance, they're not going to do it, they won't do it. I'll do it, because it's like, I'll do anything. As Bernard once said, he'd play in Beirut him.
So you rang the doorbell feeling very strange, and everybody kind of met round the table.
I had not seen Steve and Gillian for like 4 years, and literally you were back, and in like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, it was just like going home for Christmas.
Yeah, it's like
everyone said, it was just exactly the same, and it was nice.
So anyway, you played Reading. If you think about the actual gig itself, what do you remember of it?
Remember Keith Allen coming out of that cage?
So you thought, we'll bring
Keith
on.
on in the cage with a black sheet over it. But I tried to get the sheet off and couldn't get it off, which was very fortunate, because at the time the cage wasn't covered facing Gillian.
Yeah.
And he had his trousers down facing Gillian, simulating, what was he doing, Gillian?
Was he pleasuring himself?
He was pleasuring himself with his trousers round his ankles. In the time it took me to get the thing off, he managed to whip them up, and you know, I remember that quite vividly.
Because you played a couple of Joy Division songs, didn't you, as well?
When Ian died, we went, right, let's not play him anymore. Let's make a name in our own right and write some songs under, you know, so no one can go, well, they're just depending on Joy Division. Let's forget them songs and write our own songs and see if we can make a success that way. Fortunately, it was very successful, but I also just thought it was a bit silly not to play him, because it was a bit like we were pretending they weren't our songs, but they were our songs. You know, we wrote all the music for those songs, we put a lot of effort in them, and it's like disregarding your inheritance, really.
We first started doing it on the anniversary of Ian's death, didn't we? We'd play a couple. If we were out gigging, remember the first time we did it, we were gigging somewhere, and it was like Ian had died 3 or 4 years ago.
In America.
Yeah, and we decided to do a couple of Joy Division songs. And it just seems really bizarre now because you should play. It's 20 years this year, isn't it? We did for 20 years. This year, May the 2nd.
In silence, see the danger, always danger, endless talking, life rebuilding.
Not playing live for a while, while I've been in electronic, really made me think, well, what didn't you like about playing live? And it was the kind of tension that I'd imposed on myself. And I just thought that if you go on stage, all the people are there, come to see you, and they want to have a good time listening to your songs. So what have you got to worry about? Just go on and enjoy your songs, enjoy playing your songs. And if you do that, you'll get off it, and the audience will get off it.
Well, can you remember the
First time.
Can you remember the Tarashevenko one at all?
Just about, I remember the thing at the top of the stage with the head on.
And it was just a great hall.
Wasn't it Michael's idea? Who's behind the camera? Give us the camera and we'll have
Yeah,
your
we'll just flip it around.
Give us the camera, we'll have your explanation of it. Go on.
It's not got a mic on.
So Michael here was in charge of Factory America, which is almost as popular as Factory Australia. Although the fact is you didn't get to go down under. Now, are you very popular with going down under, Michael? Or?
And so what happened? Why was it put on there?
Why was it put on there? Because there was a war going on between the Peppermint Lounge and Tier 3 or something with Jim Farad. And if you played at one place, you couldn't play at another. They were fighting, so we said, well, why don't we put on our own show?
You had really big curly whirly hair. I've
you
seen the
played
video.
on
The curly whirly hair.
Tarashevenko.
But the way it's quite interesting if you look at the video, because the way that you play is you don't say a word, not to one another, not to the audience, nothing. You just play. And then go off. You don't even, half the time you're not even looking at the audience, you're playing away. If you're comparing it with Reading, you play completely differently. You're all really, really intense, but it's like you're intense within your own little kind of circles.
I think it was...
Well, that was when we were a cult band, like I say, so we were still at that cult status, and we just did what we wanted to do. Like, when we first started playing, we used to play for 20 minutes. My attitude to a gig was, I've seen this band, they're really good, seen it for 20 minutes, right, they're really good, but I want to see something else now, short attention span. And then our attitude was that you'd have us on, and loads of groups on, each group plays a short while, and in between you'd have DJs, or play tapes of like dance music, and people would go for a night out rather than just to see us play. I guess in a way, subconsciously it was a way of avoiding the pressure. But I just thought it's better for people just to go for a night out, and you're one of the bands on that night out.
It was like that thing with support bands. Was the thing we used to dislike was that, like, you used to have to go on last.
So you had all that waiting.
Everyone's gone. You know, you come out. Bernard says you come out buzzing, and there's nobody there. You're like, ah, shit. So we always wanted. Remember, we tried to get on the whole tour to get us the support band to go on after us.
We didn't used to sort of communicate with each other, but we didn't have anything to say to each other.
People dispute that fact, because I would say that you didn't have to say anything to each other then because you spent so much time together. And it's like a family. You didn't have to. You were just all together all the time. I mean, we spent years and years and years together to the detriment of your family, to the detriment of everything.
But then it's quite early, though. I mean, that gig was quite early.
We spent more time together then than we did 10 years later.
We didn't feel a need to communicate, and we didn't feel the need to talk to the audience because our
talk
music was talking to the audience. It wasn't.
We come off stage.
We
and
weren't being
talk to each other.
pretentious or weren't being.
Actually, on stage, any different.
It was just the way we were.
Yeah.
You know, it was just the way we
Hey,
were.
that sounds like a cue for a song.
Think of your videos as not as live videos, but in fact, there's quite a few that have got live performances in them, really. At least, because, like, say for True Faith, I would think of the people slapping one another. But there's live stuff in there.
The great thing that used to annoy our American manager was that the videos didn't have to relate to the group. It was just about music. It was like film music, if you like. It'd be artistic. You could be artistic with your videos. People are not very artistic with videos these days. It's just all about the band, isn't it?
Yeah, they want
If
to
you
get
see a
the
5
face
video, it's
over.
got 5, and you see steps, it's got steps in. New Order videos didn't have new order in. So what happened was that because the American management complained so much, they started putting a little bit of new order in.
And then
And sometimes not very successfully.
You got your leg in true faith.
Cheers, mate. Bloody hell. Try to get rid of me. Got your leg in.
The next video, you can get the other leg in.
both like in.
I didn't. The next video, I didn't get any.
The most popular bands that are around now just play very traditional, old, what we'd
Do you mean
call
like
old rock,
Oasis?
old rock and roll. Not Oasis, no. But you know, we're doing very traditional music, and I'm not saying that's wrong, but we've not been interested in. We've always been interested in trying to change music, not replicate what's gone in the past, but to try and change it, even a little bit at a time. You know, I think we did that with Blue Monday. I think Joy Division, the sound of Joy Division, that kind of deep drone that Joy Division made, changed music. You know, his bass playing, where he used the bass as a lead guitar. No one had done that before.
But in Touched by the Hand of God, you did a heavy metal spoof, didn't you?
When people in America saw the Touched by the Hand of God video, they actually did think we were a heavy metal band. And they went through a phase of when we go to gigs, people would ask for the money back because we weren't a heavy metal band. That's true, I didn't make it up.
We were going over to LA all the time, and we couldn't believe what they were playing on it on MTV, because it was just all that heavy metal kind of. It was just trash, and we just wanted to do a video taking the piss out of that kind of music because I didn't like it. They wouldn't show the video because it took the piss out of
They
it.
wouldn't show the video because that bloody director he got in put that sort of rape, assault.
This is Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine, yeah. Has she done anything lately?
She hasn't. She's done a few things.
Well, yeah, as soon as I saw that, I knew she was doomed.
Yeah.
I knew she'd never get anywhere.
It was her career.
As soon as I saw that
wasn't
thing. So what had happened was we had this spoof heavy metal
Bloody hell,
video of us
mate,
running around
yeah.
like
Oh,
idiots.
God.
And then this sort of rape, violent.
Wasn't it rape?
Well, when the kids' TV saw it, they said it was very abusive.
That was Bill Paxman, wasn't it? Who later went on to have a successful career
It's
as
all your fault.
a film actor.
He didn't get on kids' TV with that video.
Twister.
Instead, it's made an
He was
artistic
doing
statement.
And
Twister.
Apollo
He was in
13,
Apollo
wasn't he?
13. So we've also launched a lot of people's careers, really.
See,
Very nice.
I think, again, we didn't think, because we weren't careerists, we never thought of videos as a promotional tool which infuriated record companies. It's of art, really. And that interested us more than promoting the band. Promoting the band was really boring to us. We thought that if we did something interesting, that is a form of natural promotion anyway, rather than, you know, putting us on looking like loads of makeup on, looking glamorous and shooting us, and that's seemed to be a corny way of doing it and not a very cool way of doing it. And we just thought, well, we'll do something interesting. If people dig it, they'll buy the record. Unfortunately, when we went on major record labels, they don't think at all like that, and that's where the friction started.
arguing.
It was okay in clubs because people got it because it was a club, so it was a club night anyway. So
So it's
the
part of
band
the whole,
being
just part
off
of the whole environment.
yeah, but then when we started doing big tours and people just came to see us and we just played for 20 minutes, didn't do an encore.
And didn't talk to them.
But you don't want to. I just find that so.
Well,
demeaning. If you're a band and you go out and you play your music, it doesn't mean that you have to project what if you're happy as a person. I think it's pure and it's proper thing
Well,
to
with
do.
a lot of
and it's
groups,
the reason
there's
why I
shell.
started
With a lot of
this.
groups, there's a shell, isn't there? There's a shell, and no matter how they're feeling, they project the shell every night, and it's an act. But with us, we're not capable of doing
well,
that.
no, but to me, it's a bit insulting if someone, come on now, everybody, clap your hands. Fuck off.
We'll divide the audience into all the ladies.
Yeah, and you go whoa, and you go way.
I'd like to go and see a group where you think, oh, I wonder what they're going to do tonight.
No, you're going, oh, I hope they only do 20 minutes because I'm dying to get home.
Yeah, but you don't own someone's
And
personality.
don't do an encore.
You don't own someone's personality because you've paid your money.
That's
If
exactly
someone said
my
that to
point.
me,
Yeah,
I'd
but
fucking
Bernard, I had this
try
discussion with you
to
in your
strangle
house.
him. What it's about really is doing what we want to do and hoping that someone else enjoys it, you know. And it's a bonus, yeah. And the thing why I want to play live is so that you can write a song and take it out and play it, not filtered through some journalist, but play it direct to the people who are going to buy it and see what their response is. And very often it's completely different from journalist response.
If you think about, say, Regret, right? That was a single, came out and it got kind of, I think it got quite mixed reviews really, but then when you played it at Reading, opened, well, it did though, I mean, I think it's a great single, but it did, when it first came out, people were a bit funny about it, and then when you played it, it was the first one that you played in Reading, and it was brilliant. People went absolutely mental.
I don't view being in the studio as being the perfect interpretation of what you do as a musician. I see playing live as being
But you tend to see the studio version as more.
On a record, you're doing the filtering. You end up deciding what that record sounds like. But on live, you know, the sound guide, the shape of the hall, the equipment you use, the mood you're in that night determines how good the song's going to come across. And it's that lack of control that I find a bit... I used to find it very frustrating that sometimes we'd do a gig with New Order and it would be brilliant, and then the next time you do a gig and it'd be crap.
It's because we didn't play the same set every night. We did something
and it
different.
was really off the wall. Sometimes it works.
So it was
but
always
didn't.
off the
Sometimes it was
wall.
magical. If you're playing a small gig, right, and regardless of the sound or whatever, if people can look at you and see what you're doing, you're like that. Don't you think that conveys an emotion that you can't do in big gigs? That's what I was going to say.
I know what you're saying, Ucky, but me and you think in different ways. You're quite a bit more physical than I am, and I'm...
No, but I mean...
I guess it comes to being an only child, you know. I didn't have any kids to communicate with. I spent a lot of time on my own, and everything was thoughts in my head,
the thing about it
you know.
all, surely with a group, is it has to be chemistry, doesn't it? It's the chemistry that makes you work as a group. The fact that people are different.
Yeah,
and the fact that people do different things makes it interesting the way you tour.
Also, I think a very important thing is that you have fun when you're making your music. You don't take it too seriously.
Julian, what do you think about the difference between live and studio? Which do you prefer?
I like both. It's just two different things, really.
Do you get excited by the roar of the crowd?
No.
We seem to spend a lot of time in New York, and Michael, who was Factory New York, Schamberg, who was Factory New York, who's shooting this video.
Him over there.
Was friends with Arthur Baker and Jelly Bean and all them, so we used to go to all those clubs like the Funhouse and Peppermint Lounge, Haraz, Paradise Garage. We ended up playing the Paradise Garage. I remember that because they had a great sound system. It was about the size of this room we're in now, but the whole walls, all the four walls had speakers in them, huge speakers, and the DJ had a joystick. And when they were playing this kind of early house music, I suppose, it used to pan the house music round the room like this. It was fantastic. We enjoyed playing in New York in the clubs. It was always a good vibe. You know, it was always a good time. You know what I don't like about groups that are around today? I said, you can't hear the word, you can't understand what they're saying. They've got a good beat though, haven't they?
And it's an awful racket, isn't
the diction
it?
is terrible. But I want you to know that there is another side.
There's sweetness and light.
You know, we don't to see it.
I rely on the other members of the band to bring forth stories about
because
the
you
other
can't
side,
remember
the things are done for charity.
We're off then.